This conference will now be recorded.
So we completed last class declare expressions, correct? Now today is a declare on change concept. Okay, and another one is a declare trigger. Some other remaining rules: declare on change and declare trigger, and then we have some declare constant also, one of the concept, correct? Suppose where is that concept? Declare expression is completed last class. Declare on change is there. Declare on change is nothing but whenever some property value changes. Okay, so whenever some property value changes, how to calculate the, how to one declare on change will be run some activity into the background. Okay, how to do that? Suppose let us assume admin at the rate of password is rules and click on login. Suppose let's consider last class we created some case type, right? Something, yeah, test scenario. Open this case type and save and run it. There is some subtotal property, correct? So the customer is purchased more than some 50,000 or something 10,000. Okay, is some purchase some 10,000 items, more than 10,000 items. So what will happen when the customer is purchase some items more than 10,000? Some add some gift card into the customer page list, either some watch or something, any laptop or something, what, some gift card. Okay, how to do that? That means the declare on change will be run activity whenever some subtotal will be changed. Okay, now let's go to done and then check once. Suppose if it is subtotal is reached to more than some 10,000 or 20,000 something. Okay, so what will happen here? We how to add the some gift card into the customer page list. Okay, some gift watch, the cost of the watch or quantity of the watch and so on. Right? How to do that? Now in these cases, I'm going to create the declare on change now. Right click and go to create a declare on change. So on change is nothing but when the property will be changed. So the on change will be when that activity whenever in backgrounds and one activity will be executed, that is nothing but a declare on change. Okay, so that is what about the on changing activity. Test on change something. Go to create and open this on change rule, and here first thing, so define the property value. Which property, when which property will be changed, that activity will be that on change will be run the activity, right? Your properties to watches, define that which properties are changing, some subtotal, maybe some other property. Let us assume something, there is some account number or something, pin code into the customer, not for pin code. Uh, Example, something. So this is an example for Amazon, something in our subtotal will be reached. Okay, so let us another example is some credit card limit is reached. Suppose your credit card will be there, so the credit card limit will be reached. Suppose you are going to trying to some use some credit card, but your credit card already will be reached into the limit. So what will happen? The amount is credit card amount will be reached to some particular limit. No, we can't able to use a credit card, correct? So that is what about. So that is amount is a property. When the property will be changes. Okay, automatically one activity will be runs. That activity will, what will happen, that activity will be transfer the notifications to the operator. Okay, some your limit already reached some song, right? This is what about the on change rule. Here we need to define some is subtotal, some in conditions here. Subtotal is above 10k or sometimes above 50k and so on. Create and open this when condition, when is nothing but evaluates boolean values either true or false, correct? Create and open that. Go to advanced tab. Here we can define the condition. Suppose dot subtotal, something is greater than some 10,000. If it is the amount is greater than 10,000 is a true. If it is amount less than 10,000 is when condition is false. Okay, click on save and we'll back again and then save it. Here we can, whenever going to, here we need to create some activity here, some gift activity. I told you we have some indexes. Okay, so we can use the indexes here. So indexes I told, I think so. Here append, prepend, insert and last, right? Okay, these are the indexes we can use for whenever going to transferring to the data, one page list to another page list and then one page to another page. Now create and open that. Now here use the obj, I mean property set method. Property set. I want to add it. First of all, page list dot line items is a page list and use open and close bracket. Between that we need to use the index symbol, that is a less than and greater than, right? That is something, if you want to adding anything, so append, you can use this index dot the property, right? That is what is the property here, the product. The property is the product. Product or product name created. Oh, so the product is gift watch. So something one more dot line items brackets, within brackets less than greater than, that is last. This is the one more index dot cost. The cost of the product is what? 0. Okay. Dot line items less than greater than, here again last dot quantity 1. That's it. So these are the details are added into the customer page list. So let's go to save and run this. So when you are going to call this activity into the declare on change, then always activity type should be on change. Remember this one. Otherwise, we can't refer this activity into the on change rule. And click on save it. Fine. If it is the when condition is false, and then we can run one more activity also, no problem. So no need to refer anywhere. Now let's go to save and run the case. Okay, enter one more item. $11,000. I mean, almost 10,000 will be reached, right? If we click on save, see what will happen. See, gift watch is added, 0, and then 1 is added. Correct? This is how the declare on change will be works. Is it clear, guys? Any questions? Okay, let's move on to declare trigger and one more declare constraint, right? So declare constraint is nothing but we can use for validation purpose. Suppose let us example. Suppose if you want to apply any in your application, we already created some validate rule, correct? So validating for account number and all, correct? So even instead of that declare validate rule, we can create the declare constraint. But only difference is validate rule will be referred in some other rules, but declare constraint should not be referred into other rules. Should not be explicitly called. That is the only difference. Same functions and everything should be same. When you are going to define the declare constraint, compulsory we can select some standard function. Okay, suppose example. Let's go to create a declare constraint now. In your application, not for the scenarios. Go to create and then decision and declare constraint. Constraint here. Then some test constraint and then create and open that. So here, first of all, we need to select the standard functions like what is the condition type and everything. Here we need to define the when conditions here. So the when condition is nothing but suppose we can build expressions. We don't have any conditions and all. We can go for build an expressions. We can build it. Something we have some length function, correct? Same ఇదే మనం చేసాం validate లో కూడా ఇదే చేసాం మనం fx length. So whenever the length dot account number, correct? Something less than some 10 digits and so on, correct? And click on test it also. Is true by default is true. False, right? It will be working fine. Less than 10. Suppose we'll go for required is less than 10 and suppose let us imagine I'm going to enter the greater than 10. Click on submit. Required is less than, correct? Suppose that account number required is some less than 10. Always less than or equal to 10 or something equal to 10 better. Okay, equal to 10 digits. Something else we can pass some message that is a invalid account number. Okay, invalid account number. So transfer this message into the particular property. This is that how we can define the conditions into the by using declare constraint. We can add multiple like plus plus plus. We can add the multiple same validate rule also we can define the we can validate multiple properties, right? Here also we can validate the multiple properties, but validate rule will be should be referred in some other rules, but declare constraint should not be referred into the other rules. Okay, should not be explicitly called. That is a declarative process. Now let's go to run the case. Okay, so here only will get error message if you are applying a declare constraint. I mean, all in the starting only it will check. I told you, right? Okay, suppose if I enter some digits, what will happen? We update some other validations also, I think so. Okay, click on submit, check it once what happened. I enter some, I think it is accepted, I think so. Yeah, let's go to 7, run it again. Enter the more than 10 digits. Text it now. Why is it allowing? See, it is displaying some error message here itself, correct? But in the new version, it will be there is no new harness and all. You have directly for the work creations. So the account in integer value, it's not a valid integer, it's an invalid account number and all. Okay, so this is how we can validate the account numbers, and you have to validate the property by using declare constraint. Depend based on the requirement, and we can create the declare constraint. That is declare constraint. That is the purpose of the declare constraint. So next one, declare on change also completed, and then we'll move on to the declare trigger. Declare trigger is nothing but a generally what will happen, some DB hits. Maybe suppose you are the customer for Amazon, you are going to changing for the pin code, something pin code, correct? Suppose when the customer is changing for any pin code, it will be transfer some notification, email notifications or some phone message notifications to the customers. Your pin code will be successfully changed. This is a new pin code, some so on, right? Declare trigger is nothing but a whenever some DB hits, if you do any changes into the database, then automatically the declare trigger will be run the activity. Okay, some so on. Something best example is withdraw the amount into the ATM. So whenever you withdraw amount into the ATM, what will happen? Immediately will get some alert message, correct? Some so on location, ATM number, or some ATM name. So you withdraw some 20k. Your available balance is this one, correct? That is alerting for the customer. Okay, some communicating for the users. So that is what about whenever some instance of the class, instance of the class means either work class or some data class, anyone. So either updated or deleted or saved, and anything, any changes will be done. Then declare trigger will be run an activity, send the notifications to the operators. That is what about the declare trigger. Okay. Suppose let us suppose example. I'm going to something IFSC codes, Mastercard. Suppose we have some Mastercard data table, correct? So I'm going to open the Mastercard data table now. Pinned classes. Kotak Mahindra Bank. Open the Mastercard data table. Mastercard systems. Suppose in the Mastercard system, some customer is changing for the some pin code changes and all. Suppose if you don't have any pin code, and add the field pin code field. This is one of the question in interview. How to add the new column into the existing data table. Okay. First of all, add the field. Okay. Then after that, this pin code is integer, right? Back to records. Here we have option. Okay. If you want to add the new column, go to actions, edit columns. Okay. This is how we can add the new column. We'll come back and please click on plus and then add the pin code. That's it. And click on submit. The new column is added now. Now we can go to enter some data. 518, 543, 518, 489 something. Okay, this is a pin code. So suppose I'm going to create one declare trigger now. Okay, under this data class, not for work class. These are data instances. Whenever these data instances will be created or deleted, then to run the declare trigger. Declare trigger will be run the activity. Open the declare trigger. Bring test trigger and then create and open that. Yeah, there are different options. Deleted and all options will get the when conditions and except saved and means only for property. Suppose some property is a pin code. Okay, whenever this pin code will be changed. If you want to define when condition, through when condition, if you want to run the activity, that is also no problem. Otherwise, whenever this property will be changed, I'm going to run the some activity here, some test activity trigger something. Let's go to open this activity, create and open. For testing purpose, I'm going to create some page. So let us assume something called Kotak Mahindra Bank Mastercard data class. The page is the trigger page. And then create the page, use the page name method and then create the page. Click on save it. Fine. So I told you in last class also, right? I mean declare trigger, yeah, today also the declare trigger. So when you are going to refer the activity into the declare on-chain, always activity type should be on-chain. But trigger also always activity type is trigger. Otherwise, we can't refer this activity to the trigger rule. Right? Now we can just go to open the Trezor first of all, minimize it, then go to data table and then change some value here, something. Instead of 518543, so 518542, just click on outside. Okay, if you click on outside, the details are changed. Let's go to open the Trezor, see what will happen. The page, trigger page is created now. Declare trigger will be run this activity. So it will be, the activity will be create this page. Suppose if you want to send emails to the operators, okay, so what will happen? So we need to get some email account and all. So let's go to testing and activity. Send call send email notifications. We have out of the box activity, send email from admin, send email notifications. Send email notifications to which to from, okay, this one, to and from, okay. We need to mention that all these things and the password and everything, right? Before that, so what we need to do, we need to create some email account and all. I will tell you tomorrow class how to create the email account and SLA concept and everything, okay, how to send the email notifications and all. So before something implement the email notifications and all, first we need to work on it. Go to case type, some pendings will be there into the case type. So we need to implement the alternative stages. These alternative stages. Okay. Now we'll go for the next concept is SLA and then correspondence. అప్పుడు మీకు ఈమెయిల్ నోటిఫికేషన్స్ ఎలా సెండ్ చేయాలి మెయిల్కి అనేది నేను చూపిస్తాను. సో వీ హ్యావ్ కాన్సెప్ట్ కాల్ కరస్పాండెన్స్ అండ్ ఎస్ఎల్ఎస్. ఓకే, మీకు ఫ్లో షేప్స్ అన్ని మీకు ఆటోమేటికల్గా అవుట్ ఆఫ్ ది బాక్స్ ఫ్లో షేప్స్ కూడా మేము చూపించాను, అవి సరిపోతాయండి, మోర్ దాన్ ఎనఫ్ ఫర్ దట్. ఓకే, కరస్పాండెన్స్ అండ్ ఎస్ఎల్ఏ, హౌ టు వర్క్ ఆన్ ఇట్, దెన్ వాట్ ఇస్ అన్ ఎస్ఎల్ఏ, వాట్ ఇస్ ద కరస్పాండెన్స్, what is any other concept guys pending? Anyone except this correspondence SLA కాకుండా? Okay, so when the chargeback is approved, resolve. When the chargeback is approved, we'll jump to the repri, right? So here we need to add some things here, representment, something we'll go for more, so not more, we'll go for add the step here, some collecting for information. So repri docs upload or repri docs, ఇది మీరు రేపు చేసుకొని రావాలి. ఎవరైనా స్క్రీన్ షేర్ చేస్తే నేను కరస్పాండెన్స్ ఎస్ఎల్ఏ మీ సిస్టంలో ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తాను, ఎందుకంటే నా సిస్టంలో కాన్ఫిగరేషన్స్ ఈమెయిల్ కాన్ఫిగరేషన్ రాంగ్ వస్తుంది అందుకు. repri docs upload and then go to configure view, repri docs, this is one property here, repri docs and about repri comments. Okay, repri docs, repri docs అంటే some attachments, correct? We'll go for the fancy type is attachments, then repri comments. Okay, this is what about the two properties are right. Repri comments is a paragraph, that's all. And we can go to click on submit it now. మీరు ప్రీవియస్ అయిపోయినా ఇది మాత్రం ఇప్పుడు చెప్పేది చేసుకున్నాండి రేపటి. ఓకే, repri comments. Fine, click on save it now, open this flow. If it is repri is approved, the case will be resolved. If the repri is rejected, then we'll move on to the second chargeback card. So open the process now, I will tell you. Here we need to add some sub process here. Okay, ఇక్కడ మీరు ఏం చేయాలంటే ఒక సబ్ ఫ్లో క్రియేట్ చేసుకోవాలి, దెన్ రైట్ క్లిక్, గో టు క్రియేట్ ద సబ్ ఫ్లో, create, go to process and flow now. That flow is repri approve reject flow. Repri approve reject flow. Okay, and create and open this. We have already one connector will be there, and we'll get one more connector. Something. We have already approve reject flags, correct? So whenever some approve, just select the result here, not this one, that is approved. Whenever is approved, then jump to the some status. I'm going to give some status, that is a repri approved. repri approved. ఓకే, అంటే మీరు అప్రూవ్ అని క్లిక్ చేస్తే repri approved అని స్టాటస్ రావాలి, ఇక్కడ మీరు రిజెక్ట్ అని ఇవ్వాలి. సో దిస్ ఫ్లో యాక్షన్స్ ఆల్రెడీ క్రియేటెడ్, చార్జ్ బ్యాక్ లో చెప్పాను మీకు. సో విల్ గో ఫర్ repri రిజెక్టెడ్. repri rejected, and then you can assign the same status here. Repre reject, correct, and click on submit it and save it. So we can call this flow under the representment flow. Okay, so if you want to call this, first of all delete this connector, drag and drop the subprocess shape. Subprocess is nothing but the parent flow will be calling into the subflow only for one flow only, not for multiple subflow. Okay, here I'm going to drag and drop one automation shape, change to states, one more automation shape, change to states. Okay, see, both are into the end shape, something that's it, right? Now let's go for subprocess shape here. Call the flow is repre approve reject flow. So we'll get some two results here, repre approve result and repre reject result, and refer this connector. If it is result is repre approve, okay, the result is repre approve, correct. Now jump to the case will be resolved. Okay, case resolved, that's it. Suppose if result is repre rejected, okay, if it is result is repre rejected, jump to second chargeback, then go to jump to second chargeback stage. Now the both are in the end. This is how we can call the one flow to another flow by using subprocess. I told you in the introduction of flow shapes and all, right? I mean flow types, the term subprocess, subflow types. Okay, now we'll back to the case type and then refresh the case type, then check once. These many steps are added like this. Okay, click on save and run this. Okay, ఇంతవరకు మీరు చేసుకొని రావాలి. రేపు నేను క్రియేట్ కేస్ డిలీట్ చేస్తున్నా, I don't want to require this. Okay, click on save it. Now save and run this case now. ఈ both ways may check చేయండి. So I'm going to show you one way. అప్రూవ్ అయితే ఆ రిజెక్ట్ అయితే మీరు చెక్ చేయండి. Here go to submit it now. Reject కి వెళ్ళండి, reject. In the reject only, then we'll jump to the repre. Then after the repre, yeah, we need to upload the documents and everything, correct? Then the repre comments and click on submit. The next step will get the repre approve or repre rejected. If it is repre approve, then if you click on reject, we'll get some repre rejected here. Got it, right? I'm going to show you only for approval. The loan, I mean the claim amount will be approved. The case will be resolved. మీరు రిజెక్ట్ క్లిక్ చేసి చూడండి, దెన్ దట్ విల్ బి రిజెక్ట్. ఫైన్. సో వి జస్ట్ కంప్లీట్ దిస్ వన్ అండ్ దెన్ టుమారో షేర్ ఎనీ వన్ స్క్రీన్. I will tell you the SLA correspondence concept in your system only. Okay, so that is the last concept, SLA, correspondence and SLA. Okay, so just join tomorrow, and Saturday also we'll take the class, and if any pending classes will be there, and then many pending concepts will be there, we'll discuss that Saturday. If it is possible, if any doubts, and then I will take the Sunday also, if you want any extra classes for doubts and all. Okay, okay guys, any questions? Yeah, then practice till now. So we'll meet on tomorrow same time. Today which time we joined, right? Join the 7:45 tomorrow also. Okay, fine. Okay, guys. Thank you. Bye.